Hi everyone and welcome to Web Easy Step Tutorials. This is Ahmed Fakhr and this series about learning PHP by doing for the beginners. In the first tutorial of this series, I will mention for the most important resources and tools that you will need to practice through the course. The first resource, php.net, which is the documentation for the PHP language. The second is Notepad++. This is the basic editor that you can download and use to edit the PHP code through the course. If you are familiar with another editor like me, okay, there is no problem, but it is a free and a light editor. My editor used through the course, which is PHP Storm, but it is a paid editor. The second, which is XAMPP, you can download from here for Windows or Linux as you want. After downloading, you can install. It is easy, very easy. There is many tutorials to understand how to download and install it, and how to download Notepad++ and how to install it. If you already have your editor and have your server, XAMPP or WAMP or whatever, okay, let's starting and practicing this tutorial. After installing the editor and installing the XAMPP, we start the XAMPP by clicking here and see the green text under Apache. We create a quotes directory under htdocs or under www if you are using WAMP, but I highly recommended using XAMPP. Now the first thing is to go to the editor and create a new file, which is index.php. Here we want to print a quote. To do this, we creating a variable, a new variable under name quote equal to no gain without pain, and try to print this quote. We use echo and quote. Let's go to the server and try to print it. Yes, no gain without pain. As you may notice that we point to localhost, which is the server, and quotes, which is the directory. So where is index.php? Here is the answer. If you are using index.php under a root folder, a root directory, this is mean load this file first. The index.php is the first loading under the directory. Also, if you have index.html, it will load first. The name of index mean the first file you will start with in the server. But if we have a many quotes, what we will do? Okay, there is a solution. Duplicate the variable and put a concatenation. If you put the concatenation before the equal, it will concat the first here, as you see, with the second string. Let's try to figure it out. As you see, no gain without pain 1, no gain without pain 2. It will concatenate these variables. But there is a problem. What if we have a many quotes that we need to load? There is a smart way to do this. which is creating an array. The difference between variable and array, that array hold many values. To do this, we will create a new array. This is a new array. Now I creating the new array with 10 quotes, and I want to print these quotes to the browser. Is the echo still useful to print array as we do with the variable? Let's see. No. As you see the error, notice array to string conversion, which means you are trying to print the array with the wrong way. You are using echo, which is fit to the string, not to the array. You can use as alternative print underscore r, which is a built-in function that help you to print the code to the browser. You can also use var dump, which do the same with many details about the array content, if it is string or number or whatever. Let's see that. Refresh, and as you see, there is an array with 10 elements. Yes, there is 10 elements here. The second is every value in this array has the index and the value. The index is starting with 0, 0, 1, 2, and it will end with 8. Why 8? Because it is starting with 0. This is the key that point to the value, the key index. And the value for the 0 index is quote 1, which is a string value with 7 characters. Let's calculate this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It will calculate the space also. Okay, if we use print r, let's see, it is the same but without any mention about the type for the values. The index 0 will point to quote 1 and etc, etc. But as you see here that we have a many quotes, but we want to print one quote for the day, one quote every time. How we do this? We can do this simply by using the key index. Here, this is the first value. We can point to it by using the key index 0. Let's try. This is the first value. If we want the quote 2, it will be 1. Let's refresh, quote 2. But this is still a problem. Every time we want to load these quotes, we want to load it dynamically without changing it manually. We want to load these quotes randomly with each refresh for the page. To do that, we need to use a built-in function which is rand. Rand will create a random number when you call it each time. This is the rand function, and it will take two parameters. The first, which is the minimum number, and the second, which is maximum number. So we will put the 0 as it is the minimum key index that is starting when you use this array. In this array, we start with quote 1, which is 0. we start with 0, as you see before, 0, 1, 2, 3, until going to, now the first is 0, which is the minimum number for the index key, and the second is 9. Now it will create a random number between 0 and 9. Let's test in the browser. As you see, code 2, code 7, code 6, code 5. If I want to remove some codes from this array and trying to refresh the browser again, one time and another, oops, there is a problem. Undefined offset 4. What did this mean? This means that you are calling or pointing to an undefined index. You're calling undefined index. How we did this? We did this because we calling the number between 0 and 9, and here the maximum is 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the maximum index. So if it is generating 5 and we refresh, there is an error because there is no element in this array with the index key 5 number. And how we can solve this problem? We can solve this problem by making the rand function take its arguments, its values dynamically without needing to change it to 3. And to do this, we extract the rand and from here and create a new variable with the name random num equal to rand. Okay, and pass the random number into the code. So every time the rand generate a random number, it will pass it to the random num variable and we pass it to this index. Here we have two values, 0 and 3. This number is the first number in the index, which is mostly not changed. This is the number which is the maximum number that will change frequently. To fix it, we use a built-in function which is count. Count will count the array elements and return the number of the elements in the array. So if I will pass code array to the count and let's print it, print, and we use exit to stop the execution here into this line. Let's try. This is a 4 elements into this array, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's hash this and try again to see what's going on. Oops, there is another problem, undefined offset. Why? Because the count will count these elements and put the 4 number here and the array starting from 0. So 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. There is no 4. The count the 4 elements and doesn't start from 0. So to solve this, we will add minus 1. So it will be 3. Let's refresh again. There is no problem. It's working good. But as you see, the script is not mature. It is a basic script. We need to make it more dynamic. And to clean the content, it is more preferred to separate the content from the programming. So putting this text here, it is not a good idea, because if you want to add more quotes, you just go to the programming and just writing a new content. If you want to delete, you make this here. What if you have 1,000 of quotes? What you can do here? So I collected many quotes and put it into a quotes text file, and this file has many quotes we can add, we can remove from this file, which is making it more cleaner. And what we need to do is to read from this text, and this will separate the text from the programming, which is the another improvement that will we discuss in the next tutorial. In the next tutorial, you will learn how to deal with the text file, how to read from a text file, how to add to the text file, how to delete from the text file. Thank you for watching. See you next. Bye.